MINOTATRAHAPANIUNHENDE. MINOTATRAHAPANIUNHENDE.
Some
MINOTATRAHAPANIUNHENDE.
time ago I had the honor to conversate with Francis about his work life and mentality and where he stands in life as an artist right now. He created a mural for sandals this year on a cocktail bar that few on the island can enjoy, but can be admired by other people from all over the world. I thought, so, he's got it right with a commission like that. Working on commission for sandals is no small feat. Looks neat on his resume, and they would have paid him really well. Partly true, and the story behind it was actually bright yet food for the brain. Francis was given this assignment with no idea what he would be getting into and was tied with a strict timetable. The assignment to paint a container called TUIN came from a renowned, big company. That meant a different approach than Francis was used to. He didn't have that up-close and personal connection. The artist also had to work around other people, and normally he works by himself on murals. "This is not the way I was used to working, but I went for it anyway," he said. The client, who did not live in Curacao, was amazed by Francis' work. He was very respectful and enthusiastic to work with this artist. They were looking for someone who could finish the work in a short time. The perfect man for the perfect job, so to speak. Normally Francis has a lot of contact with clients and more hand-holding of what to paint. This time was different. He was allowed to bring in his own imagination, at least to make something beautiful of a dull container. I think that's a privilege to have, but Francis thought differently about it. Normally every assignment has its challenges, but because Francis stepped out of his comfort zone this time, small issues began to catch his eye. More than usual. The working atmosphere wasn't really inspiring. Other employees were also under pressure for opening preparations. As it were, let's do what they asked of us to get this done with. When people around you start behaving like that, you also feel the urge to go along with that energy. I also thought at one point that I want to finish that painting as soon as possible. I was standing in the bright sun, there was lots of dust, and it felt like I was working on a plantation. And suddenly the realization kicked in. I did this to myself. I underestimated the work and thought I would have more contact with the client along the way. A container also has more depth than a mural. Man, I realized I hadn't prepared properly. When I heard this story, I thought, why whining when you're getting paid well? See what I was thinking here? This mindset of working for money and not for your own life purpose quickly kicked in. Francis stepped into this job without being properly prepared and stepped over his own ways of working. He also could have told them that he didn't want to work like that or just say no to this project. He didn't. Fortunately, Francis has a strong self-reflective ability to admit that he did not have the right attitude at some point on this journey. We all have done this and then blame others for our decisions. Saying yes to big projects and then getting an aftertaste. Because of experiences like this, we quickly then cry out loud,
MINOTATRAHAPANIUNHENDE.
Newsflash people, this is a misinterpretation and that sentence is not correctly finished. You need others and they need you. Under what conditions, requirements and principles is totally up to you. If you have the mindset of MINOTATRAHAPANUNHENDE, you are destined to fail and to be unhappy. I totally agree with Francis here. You have to imagine hiring someone with such a mindset in your company. Do you think your business would move forward? Do you think it would make you happy if your colleagues were unhappy or unwilling to work? Also, you have to imagine that no one wants to work for and with each other, and everyone starts something up. Their own businesses. Who will support you in your process? Do you think everyone can be a leader? Do you think everyone can take on big responsibilities? It becomes a vicious way of thinking. I chose to work for someone for a short period of time. Under what conditions and atmosphere does not matter here. I don't want to blame any employer, because I could also say no. It is up to me to choose what I stand for and go for it. This was a huge learning moment for me and a reality check that we are stuck in modern, mental slavery. I want a way out. I want to do things differently. We are social beings and we need each other. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong if you want to be an entrepreneur or to have a 9-to-5 work ethic. The statement "I don't work for other people" or "I don't want to work for other people" is just unreasonable and it doesn't match reality. Francis and I had interesting ideas on how we can rethink the idea of MINOTATRAHAPANUNHENDE and get a new perception, which I want to share with you.
MINOTATRAHAPANIUNHENDE.